Alright, well, we got us a problem here. See there is a dent on the bottom of my kayak, and I know it's been there for a long time. I don't really remember how it got there. Being that I bought this thing used, it may have very well been there the whole time I had it. But now, right here, there is a crack. That's the opening right there. So I'm going to try to weld that back closed. Let's see how that works. And the way I've seen these welded on YouTube videos is people use like a heat gun or something. They get it really soft, and then they just mash it together, and that welds the plastic together. I've also seen them use bits of plastic that they'll melt into there. I'm going to see if I can do it. I don't have a proper heat gun, but I do have a propane torch. And this is probably a very bad idea, but I have to try to fix it. And I think welding the plastic is going to be my only option. I am going to direct the flame at the yak, keep it at a distance. I don't want it to get too hot and really distort, so it's going to be real nice and slow. You can't see that, I guess. That flame is not on the boat at all. It's just directed towards it. Nice and slow. Oh, look at that. The split opened up right there. You can see that as this got warm, it got soft, and the split just opened up right there. Here I'm warming up that piece of plastic. Well, there's the mess that I got so far. I kind of practically dripped on there, caught fire a couple times. Seems somewhat substantial. I'm going to add some more layers to it. I don't have any more of the plastic that the yak was made out of, but I happen to know, or at least I'm fairly certain, that it was high density polyethylene. That's what this is made out of. Fortunately, most of everything in the United States is made out of high density polyethylene, kind of like this bucket right here. If you look underneath, I bet I can find a stamp. There it is right there. See that? HDPE2. You'll find that same stamp on the bottom of milk crates and a lot of plastic products in America. So I'm just going to cut a piece of that bucket off and try to melt it down and use it as a patch for my kayak. One thing also I wanted to mention is that this is not a how-to video. This is just me documenting what I'm doing to my poor kayak here. I don't necessarily recommend this at all. If at some point it works in the future, that's great. But I'm aware of the fact that this is probably giving off fumes that I shouldn't be breathing, but such is my life. I'm just trying to save myself a couple bucks here from having to go out and buy a new kayak, that's all. Well, this is my progress so far. There's the oil container that I cut the piece out of, and that's now part of my boat. And if you look really close in spots like up here, it's blended pretty good with the plastic of the boat. Like right there, on the front. That kind of blends together really nice. There might be a little divot right there. That looks good. Right here especially, that looks really nice. But then you have places like this. It almost looks like, it's real hard to see, but down up in there there's a crease that might have to get blended a little better, or it can melt some more plastic to fill those little gaps. But aside from that, that is solid as a rock. This keel is not spongy anymore, so I'm kind of feeling good about that. This is the spot that always rides over the oyster beds, so it's nice to have that extra reinforcement. So I'm just going to clean up the edges of this by filling a little bit more plastic up in there, and that'll be it. Then it'll be time to take it out on the water and test it. Flip the boat on its side slightly so that gravity will help me get some plastic in those crevices, like right in there. Fill in those small areas. I don't know if this is right or wrong, but I just set the plastic on fire and let it drip in there. I'm not really sure if the chemical composition of it changes to something weaker after it burns. Okay, there you see the difference after I smash down the edge. Just kind of blends together a little bit nicer there. Now over here on this side I have another area that has the same thing going on, like right there and there. Those spots need to be filled in a little bit and flattened out, kind of like that. So flip the boat the other direction and melt some plastic in the other side of the keel. There we go. Now it's just this area along this edge. I'll flatten that out a little bit. First I'll add some plastic in there and try to blend that over a little better, kind of like that. Alright, well here it is, here's the patch. Fully cured. It's been painted to try to help me find any little spots, like right there. I can see underneath that, even though you probably can't. That's, I think, sealed, despite those little dark areas. Right here, there's two little tiny dark areas. Hopefully water isn't going to get in there. The part that concerns me is whether or not this could peel off. Like right here, you see like there's an area where something could theoretically pop that off. I don't know. It seems pretty sturdy to me. There's going to be a few 100 pounds on this when I'm on top of it, scraping across sharp barnacle beds and stuff, in potential at least. That'll be the real test. But I think, for all intents and purposes, that's a pretty good patch. And now it's just time to take it out on the water. The paint will show me if any little pieces come off. So that's one of the reasons I painted it, was to show me quickly and definitively if there was any damage. So let's see. I'll keep my fingers crossed. Well, I'd be lying if I said that I wasn't filled with just a little bit of dread going out here and testing my patch. It is pretty darn cold out. If this thing fails to be in the water. It's not acting like a stone yet. That's good. Well, this is the first real test. I've gone about a half a mile so far. And I know I scraped the bottom a little bit. So let's see what's happening down there. Okay. It looks solid. No big pieces have fallen off. That's encouraging. The fact that I haven't sunk yet. Alright. So far so good. Still I might stick to the shallows today. Alright, let's see if there's any fish out there. Well, so far so good. I haven't sunk yet. That's all. That's nice. One of the things that I did is I tried to look at the rudder assembly there and its relative position to the water when I came out. Also these scupper holes here. I looked at where the water was relative to that hole, and I've been keeping an eye on that. And that'll hopefully give me a heads up if I'm taking on water and starting to ride lower. But so far so good. Not too many fishy things going on. Did have my bait taken, and when I came up to the area where I got broke off, I saw a redfish in the water. But that's about it. Nothing else to report. But sometimes no news is good news. Let's see what happens. Well, so far so good. It was 39 degrees when I woke up. So I waited just a little while before I came out on the water. 39 degrees, I mean, I work outside in Florida. My blood is thin. So I don't like the cold. But today it's turning out to be real nice. The wind is laid down and the water is flat. I got myself a redfish and I haven't sunk. That's when a shark comes up, eats my fish, it starts raining, wind starts blowing. Then my yak winds up on the bottom of the flats over here. I don't know. Time will tell. Okay, well, it's been a bunch of hours. That water level seems to be about the same. And as the sun is going down, it's starting to get a little chilly again. I got me another redfish. This guy's about 22 inches. Beautiful. So we didn't sink, and we caught some fish. That to me is a good day. Let's head back. Let's see what it looks like down there. See a couple scrapes. Aside from that, not too bad. There's another look at the hatch. Doesn't look like it's started to separate at all. It looks actually pretty good. The paint has been scraped off the bottom. But that's why I added that extra piece, that white piece of plastic, to give it that extra protection, because it always rides right there. It didn't feel like it had any water in it. That's the first time it's been like that since, I don't know, the last 6 or 7 times I took it out. It was taking on water. I think I got this problem solved.